That was the fastest workout I probably have ever witnessed.
Yo, because you know, there was no in-between nonsense. There's very little in-between nonsense because nobody's here. So I can't get distracted. Even though I still get distracted. Yeah, so it's Tuesday, guys. Obviously, you know, speed dynamic upper body day. I took a quick hiatus yesterday and went back to my old stomping grounds at Pace. Got a little workout in, played with the safety bar a little bit. So today was actually a really fast day in the gym just because like nobody was there, so I didn't get distracted or anything like that. But we got 10 sets of 3 with 45% for speed with chains on. Got 2 supersets with some rows, some explosive box push-ups, as well as another superset with a shoulder press and also some lat pull down. So, you know, a pretty good day, just kind of filling that base in, really strengthen up your back, because that really is the base for your bench. It's almost like your feet are when you squat. So that's what I'm trying to do. I got to see my old coach yesterday, so it was real cool because he had a big effect on my life in terms of lifting and football. So it was cool, and it really got me motivated to keep on pushing, keep on going. So, you know, powerlifting is boring. You don't always get to do fancy things. You don't always get to switch it up. Sometimes it's just a steady grind and just keep your head down. So see y'all tomorrow. Yep, so we're here at Transform. I'm here with my man, Eric Berger. This is the guy I was talking to you about that's gonna help me kind of stay healthy throughout the process. When I first got here, I didn't really know too much about prehab and rehab. I kind of just walked in the gym and just lifted heavy weight and didn't really think about how taking those constant tolls on my body kind of worked. And over time, he's been a very big mentor to me and helped me grow as an athlete and just making sure I take care of my body. Because if you're not healthy to compete, it doesn't matter what you can do, you're not going to make it through. So we're going to show you a little bit backstage and kind of get this shoulder and elbow pain fixed up, and that's all. So see you guys.
How are you feeling from last session?
Like I don't have any like pain.
No pain at all?
Yeah.
For about 4 or 5 months now, you've been dealing with some elbow tendonitis.
Yeah, pretty much.
So with elbow tendonitis, you're gonna have a deep connection from the mid-back, which they call the T-spine right through here, a lack of mobility, and then you kind of creeps into the shoulder capsule, into another restriction, another lack of mobility, particularly in overhead extension like this. So about a week ago I worked on Delaney and we tested out his overhead extension, so this movement. And in comparison to the right, where you can kind of raise it up, you can see the space in between the table here, and then compared to the left, a little tighter, right?
Yeah.
So when we see just basics, even if you didn't weightlift, when we see that lack of mobility or restricted range of movement, in my mind, I instantly think that, so he's restricted in his shoulder mobility, so his elbow, his wrist, his neck area, and then also his T-spine and low back are gonna have to compensate for that movement. In this case, for him, it's his elbow. So it's not particularly just his elbow, but it's the muscles surrounding. So he has his tricep, his bicep, and his forearm musculature down here. So he's experiencing pain from his T-spine, his upper back, his trap area, down behind his shoulder, into his tricep, and then wraps around into his bicep and into his elbow joint. It's not actually his elbow that's the pain, but it's the restricted range of movement that he has and the compensation that has to take place in order for him to get into this position. Take care, bud. So what I'm gonna do today is I'm gonna treat everything around his elbow. His mid-back, his neck, his lats, his pecs, his bicep and tricep. And we're just gonna do a general sweep of the area. Nothing too specific, just because I don't wanna go too deep because he's in training right now. And when we specify too much and too deep, he's gonna get sore and it's gonna take away from his performance. So we're just gonna kind of sweep the area, get into his mid-trap, his upper trap, into his neck, his lats from this angle, and then I'll flip him over on his side. I'll work more in his pec and his bicep. Right now I'm just kind of warming up the tissue before I use some soft tissue mobilization. This tool right here, I'm gonna break up some of the adhesions. And the end goal is to open up and improve this movement. So you'll see it right now, kind of where it is restricted. I'm just kind of putting a little bit of overpressure, but if he just did it on his own, you'd see. So see it's kind of tight right there, and we'll retest at the end, and hopefully he'll be up either better or equal to his right. Okay? Kind of put a band-aid on it. Long term, we want to open up this mobility so he doesn't have this inflammatory condition in his elbow. It sounds like a lot of jibber jabber, but what it really means is lack of movement, increased pain in the elbow. So we just want to increase that movement. We'll try not to make him cry in the process. And the tool I'm using now is a Graston tool. It's used for soft tissue mobilization. So I'm trying to mobilize all the tissue in his mid-trap and upper trap. And these are the muscles that allow his shoulder to move forward and up past his head. It's not only breaking up the soft tissue, but it's bringing a lot of blood flow to the area, which in essence is going to heal the area faster of any inflammation, any tissue damage, any wear and tear. And it doesn't really stop here. This could be a right knee, a right hip issue. What was the knee that you bothered? Was it your right? Yeah, so there you go. So indirectly, a lot of the times we have an injury or an issue with the top left side. So let's say your shoulder, your elbow, it will directly correlate with either his right hip or right knee. So he had a right knee injury not too long ago, which is getting compensation from his left shoulder. So this being weaker and more unstable is going to force this to have to compensate. So it makes sense. Most of the time it's like that.
Yeah, that's
A giant knot right there. All those Finance Fridays. It's another Graston tool. A little bit more specific towards the area where I can kind of just scrape away all the scar tissue in the shoulder, separate the shoulder blade from the spine. So a lot of the time you see guys with a lot of restriction through here, causing the trigger pain to shoot down from here into the elbow. So what I'm trying to do is just separate all this muscle from his spine, so just a little bit bound up in this position. And as I'm doing this, I'll tell him to kind of pull this arm across and stretch that tricep out. So relax for a second and then pull apart. And then as he pulls, I'm gonna pull as well. So we're just working together just to stretch out and pull. Good. And again. Good. Again. Good. One more time. Good. Relax. So we can use this tool to spread out the tissue and to help reposition this shoulder blade so it's in the right position. Instead of being really, really bound up and tight with the lack of movement that I see in his shoulder, a lot of the times you won't be able to move because this is so tight. So I need to break up this before we even attempt to stretch out his shoulder. Look at the rotation of the shoulder. So when we get under a bar, we have to have a certain amount of degree of rotation in our elbows and our shoulders in order to get into the low bar position. So a lot of the times people can't get the bar lower than here because they're so tight like this. They're lacking that external rotation. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to improve his ability to get that bar down low without his elbows having to flare so much, having the elbows kind of sit there in that good position. Instead of being like this, I want it to be just a little bit more comfortable in that low bar position with his elbows relaxed with a good movement. So his left side is a little bit tighter, so you'll see his left arm come out a little bit while his right arm sits. And I want to get this elbow in line with this elbow, so I have to improve the rotation like this and get it down together like that. And that's what I'm trying to do right now with his shoulder. Trying to improve the rotation. Bend that elbow. Good, and stretch. Good, again, yep, stretch. Pull across. We're just going to work over the bicep because his biceps are very tight just from being in a shortened position. He sits at a desk all day. You know, he's on his phone, he's on his iPad, his laptop, or whatever. So he's constantly in that internally rotated position like that. So what I'm trying to do is get him to open him up. So we got to open up his pecs, his biceps, specifically through here, where the bicep meets the shoulder, and then it also meets the chest. It's one of the tightest areas of the body. And a lot of these muscles are responsible for the elbow pain that he's feeling through here.
You're using it on his forearm as well?
Yep, I'm gonna bring it right from the pec all the way down into the elbow through here. I feel like I'm a butcher. Shaving meat off. So I gotta get the tissue in a stretched out position so I can get right into it. Sometimes I gotta bring him down into here. This is the rotation I was talking about before, is getting him into that rotated position. So I'm trying to loosen up from his chest all the way down into his shoulder, right through here. Just giving Delaney a quick shape up. Keep it right there, yeah. Let it drop. Good, now push me back up. And let it drop. Relax. Just grab the handles like that on the end, this left arm, and then you're gonna take this. Let's come down on your left knee. Yeah, so this right hand is gonna come down to the floor. You're just gonna lean back, just like that. This is similar to the treatment we did the other day. We put the tissue, specifically his tricep and his shoulder, in a really, really stretched out position, so I can get into his whole side. You see, I'll be able to get all the way into his low back. Keep rotating towards me. Give me that hand. And lean back. There you go. Back a little bit more. Good. Now rotate more. Rotate like this. Good, just like that. So this tricep, you can see it, it's very like, it's almost like very thick piece of tissue. And obviously it's good to have strong, big triceps, but what happens is most guys that have this have a tendency to get that elbow tendonitis that we were talking about, because they're so dominant with that muscle and it gets so bound up. We almost have to smooth it over, like almost like run it over, to release that tendon pressure that he's feeling. We get into the lat here. This is where his lat attaches, right through here. Break up, try to separate the shoulder blade. Good. Just let your body hang. So get it even more. Get it really stretched out, just bring it up. a little cupping. So he's got a lot of tension through here. Everybody does, but specifically for the elbow, you'll get a lot of tension right through there. So I'm going to apply the first cup, which is going to act as a decompressive tool to decompress the area of any inflammation, any waste material from wear and tear. You know, obviously when you're benching, you're squatting, you're deadlifting, you're constantly using all this muscle, so it gets very bound up. So instead of digging my thumb in there all the time, I like to pull apart the tissue and allow for new blood and new oxygen, new nutrients to get into the area and heal the area faster. So what I'll do is I'll kind of just pull out and pull apart that tissue. Back and forth like that. Do it like that, and you could also have him move with it. So I can have you move, thumb up, and then while we're working on his range of motion, he's got a decompressive tool pulling apart that tissue even more as he's moving. I'm gonna try to open and then pull you back this way, straight arm. So it kind of just glides on the tissue, pulling it apart. Back down, and again, pull up. And then one more. And come back. And then I'll take it out. And I'll do it again. And see if it feels like a little bit looser. So I'll compare. Looks a little bit better, maybe another few degrees. He'll get more an extension like that. So now I see his arm is behind his ear, which is what I want to see. But still, I'm still feeling a little restriction towards the front of his body through here. I'm gonna have him flat on his back. Now I'm just gonna work on mobility with just the shoulder. So if you see, open up. Not bad, open your hand up, fully extend. So it's got a little bit of tension through here where the bicep and the tricep meet, and that's pretty much where the common issues arise with the elbow, is where the biceps and triceps come into the elbow, right through here. So I'm still, just like I showed before with the PVC pipe behind my back, just working on getting that external rotation. So it doesn't have to, so if he gets the external rotation in his shoulder, then the elbow's protected. If he doesn't have external rotation in the shoulder, then the elbow's gotta rotate more for the shoulder. But if I can get this shoulder to open up a little bit more, then this elbow can sit in the right spot without getting overstressed. That's the goal right now. Push and relax. Good, push, relax. Good, push and relax. Good, push and relax. Push, relax. I'm just kind of playing with his nervous system right now, doing some PNF stretching. Push, it's a contract, relax technique. So as he contracts, he's overpowering the muscle in order for it to keep firing, keep firing. I'm gonna tell him to relax, and then it's gonna inhibit the opposite fibers, so the muscles on the opposite side, which is gonna allow him to get more rotation. So as you can see, as time goes on, this hand is gonna travel further and further towards the floor, which by range of motion, we're increasing his external rotation, internal and external. We're trying to improve the external through there. So push and relax. Push, 5, 4, 3, 2, relax. And push, 5, 4, 3, 2, relax. We're gonna do one more. Push, 5, 4, 3, 2, relax. And we got another few degrees there. Now push and relax. Good. Go forward. So raise up straight arm, the other arm as well. So we're about even. Maybe even a little bit more. Take a nice deep breath and breathe. Good. Blow in through my hand. Blow up, blow up, blow up, blow up, blow up, blow up, and breathe out. Good. Inhale through your stomach. Inhale, blow, 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 blow. Let your air out. Good. Again. Breathe out. Again. In. Keep coming, keep coming, keep coming, keep coming, keep coming, keep coming. Let your air out. One more time. Up. Up, 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 up. Keep coming, keep coming, keep coming, keep coming, keep coming, keep coming. And now let it out. Good. And good, relax. Okay, scoot over, flip it over on your knees, and sit back on your heels. Arms straight out. Curl your fingertips out. Do a little overpressure in the shoulder here. Trying to open up that joint. Draw the fingertips up a little higher. Pull. Crawl them up. Yep. Crawl your hands up straighter. Good. Just relax. See that active extension, just like we showed before in the beginning. Let's compare. Let's go to the right. Good. Let's go to the left. Good. Now raise both up. So we even, maybe a half an inch better on the left side. Let's lay on your back now. Good. So we're gonna raise up just this left arm. Good. Bring it down and bring it back up. Good. Bring it down and back up. Bring it down. Bring it back up. 2 more. And 1 more. And good, relax. Nice. Raise your arms straight up. Back behind. Nice deep breath in. And let the arms fall out as you let your air out. Good. Close. Good. Let's see you get under a bar here. Follow it through for a squat. Down a little bit. Still got some work to do. But you can see by the traps. Get a nice deep breath in. Let it out. You want to see a level shelf right here. Okay, so you got slightly tighter here, but you can see that this hand, see how it's like his pinky's off? And you just look at this pinky's on, meaning that his range of motion is getting better. So if this pinky was off, this finger, you see a lot of people like this. If you see that, then the shoulder's really tight. But the fact that he can get his hand and kind of grip in a little bit more, you can see that it's improving. Pinky's on that side? Okay. And now what we're gonna do is, we're gonna do a little bit of the same idea as we did on the table. I'm gonna try to improve his shoulders even more. So a little PNF technique that I do. So I'm gonna come underneath. I'm gonna tell him to push his elbows down. 5 seconds, 4, 3, 2, and relax. Push out this way. And then push down. 5, 4, 3, 2, relax. And one more. Push. 5, 4, 3, 2, and relax. And then push those elbows down. Push down, 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 and relax. Hands grip. Good. That's where we want to be right there. Relax shoulders. Hands are pretty much even. Let me take a look at that. This would be a good before picture for you. Looking at the elbow bend here, a little bit better bend than this side. See how it's kind of out more? We want it more, we want to kind of like this angle for both sides. So now we got to work on the right side. Good. All right, let me see your range. See your range, straight up. Yeah, so face this way. The camera, you can see. Hands a little closer together. Okay. So we can see the ear. Turn around for me, the other way. We can see the ear here. So this side looks good. This side, you can still get a little bit bound up tissue through here. Bring it down. We're getting better. You see how this looks a little bit more relaxed than this side? This side's like kind of bound up. This side looks a little bit more like smooth out just because we worked on it. But we just got to continue to work on it. And that's what it is, just maintenance right now. Just in the maintenance phase. Getting this guy ready for nationals.
So I know we did a lot on my shoulder and my elbow just because of powerlifting, and that was my main issue. Everybody out there is not a powerlifter. Everybody out there doesn't really want to be a powerlifter, not necessarily. So I guess like what's good, one good like trick or tip for like the average person when they're like, hey, I want to stay healthy, I want to make sure that my body isn't hurting or I don't lose mobility. Like what's one big thing to think about or give back?
Well, I think the first important thing is to have an assessment, to have a baseline to where we go off of. So you saw in the video when I was assessing his range of motion, we compared bilaterally. So for yourself, just as a basic individual, not even coming into the gym, just walking around, going to work, getting out of the car, just doing your normal activities of your daily life. Focus on one side. Is one side weaker than the other? Is one side tighter than the other? Start asking those questions. Once you get those answers, you're gonna turn that into exercises that are gonna help picking your kids off the floor, putting them into bed, taking something out of the cabinet, getting groceries out of the car. Basic body mechanics that'll keep you healthy for the long term. Being healthy, taking care of your body. Your body is your temple, we all say it. What you put in your body, you are what you eat. Same thing with the movement. You are the way you move. If you're moving poorly, you're gonna get hurt. If you're moving fluidly, your mobility is good. That means your strength is gonna be good. It means your balance is gonna be good. So when you're 70, 80, 90 years old, you don't have to worry about these injuries. You already have the awareness that it's gonna help you through, your last day. You don't have to worry about hurting your back, hurting your neck, hurting your elbow, things like that. Obviously, in performance, in athletics, we have to sacrifice our bodies a certain way. And Delaney's in here trying to change not only for powerlifting, but for the rest of his life. And that's what we're interested in here. And that's what we're gonna do, man. We're gonna win it. We're gonna stay healthy along the way.
Yeah, nationals, here we come, baby.
Walk it like I talk it, walk it. Walk it like I talk it, walk it. Walk it like I talk it, walk it like I talk it. Woo. Walk it like I talk it, talk it. Walk it like I talk it, ayy. Walk it like I